Hey everyone, welcome back to Garnock Reviews. Today I'm at Lamb's Yacht Centre working with Hanson Yachts, who are based in the Ortega River in Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm here today to check out a year 2000 Tiara Yachts 52 Express. At the time of shooting this video, the boat was up for sale for $349,000. And this one measures in at just over 51 feet in length. She's got a beam of just under 16 feet and a maximum draft of around 5 feet. There's not many boats I've featured on the channel that can offer as much luxury for family cruising, but at the same time return a high rate of speed, as this one can reach speeds in excess of 30 knots. When you look at the spec sheet for this one, and as well as the stylish design including the wraparound windows, it's hard to believe this one's over 20 years old. And one element of the design that I do like is she's got a relatively low air draft, so that way if you want to cruise where there's height restrictions, you won't find many 50-foot yachts that's got a height less than this one. There's multiple easy access points to getting on board, but as I step on board in the starboard quarter, make my way to the bows easily done. There is multiple handholds in place on both sides. You've got wide clear decks. This one's also got non-slip deck material. And you'll want to make your way to the bow, not only for docking or for anchoring, but you also have a large sun pad that's on the deck as well. And at the bow you'll see we've got an RCL spotlight. We've got an electric windlass, and this can be operated at the bow but also at the helm. And then we've got two lockers up here, and if I open up the starboard locker you'll see we've got access to all the anchor chain, but it's also deep enough you could store your bow lines, maybe a fender or two up here. And then in the port side again you get access to the chain, but this also has all your shore power connections. And then as I pan the camera around, standing on the bow looking aft, you'll see that sleek modern design as well as that low air draft, especially when you see it in comparison to the boat next to it. And then I'll start to make my way down the port side. As I get closer to the stern you'll see that there's a mixture of canopy covers as well as the solid windows. These can be kept in place so they can be easily removed. And then I'll show you the electronics at the helm, but this one does have a wide range of electronics, including the direct TV. This is the HDD track vision, but it's also got the forward looking infrared camera system, and that's from Ray Marine. And then we've also got the radar, and we've also got the loud hailer and foghorns. The aft cockpit's a great seating area. You're going to get 6, maybe 8 adults out here in comfort. There's storage under most of the seats, but there's actually engine room access under the centre seat, as well as access to the engine room in the cockpit. This one does have an extended bathing platform with built-in boarding ladder. You'll see we've got a cradle for the tender. You could put a small rib or jet ski here. We've got a 1,000-pound hydraulic davit underneath that large box shape. But at a touch of a button, the whole transom opens up and there is massive storage space under here. This would be great for ropes, fenders, canopy covers, accessories for the tender, maybe some fishing and diving equipment, all kept tucked away safe and secure. And then as I make my way into the cockpit, this one has got a solid hardtop, and the benefit of that is this area can be fully air conditioned. But we do also have opening hatches overhead. The centre window on the front opens, and of course you can remove those canopy covers if you prefer to. I can't stress enough, both in the cockpit and also in the lower accommodation, just how much headroom there is. There has to be close to 7 foot headroom in this yacht. I'm 6'2" and I can't remember a boat like it. We've got a seating area including cockpit table to port for your family and friends to be close by. We've got a great storage compartment that would be ideal for charts, logbooks, and anything you want to have close at hand. And then you'll find the helm is on the starboard side, and this one's got a Stid Series 1200 helm seat. You'd get 2 adults here in comfort. And this is a great setup with all the engine instrumentation. You got all your toggle switches that is both illuminated and clearly labelled. You got rudder angle indicator, and we have got triple Garmin multifunction displays. These are also hooked up to the cameras on board, including the infrared camera. But you get chart plotter, sounder, radar, and even engine instrumentation. And we've also got speed log, depth, and also autopilot. And then to help make docking easier, this one also has got a bow thruster installed. It's just a few short steps takes you into the lower accommodation. And down here you really feel the benefit not only of that height but also of that beam. There is so much space on board, but also the boat doesn't move as you're walking around. Feels like a very stable platform. To begin with, we've got the galley in the port quarter. And throughout the entire yacht you'll see the little push button effect for all the drawers and cabinets. That way everything stays closed, locked and secure when the boat's underway. This one has definitely been designed and equipped for extended cruising or extended liveaboard use. And you've got plenty of refrigeration, so you can prepare all your favourite meals on board. Just above that we've got a convection microwave oven. And as well as having a vast amount of storage, we've also got great countertop space. And that also lets you bring things like your air fryers and your George Foreman grills and things like that. But underneath this section on the starboard side you'll see we've got a 3-burner electric stovetop. And this is probably a good time to point out that this one also carries 200 gallons of fresh water. And she also carries 700 gallons of diesel. And I like the fact the galley does have an opening porthole as well, and that way you get plenty of ventilation when you're cooking. This one's even got a built-in coffee maker. And throughout all the interior of the yacht, I really like the wooden finish that this one has. It definitely feels like it's a premium quality, both in terms of the materials used, but also in terms of just the fitting and fixtures. And then there's also a little secret hidden compartment at the end of the galley. This pulls out and you have got a built-in bottle rack. And they've just done a great job of utilising all the space that they have. Space on any boat is always a premium. And another example of where they've utilised that space is actually the steps that you come down to get to the lower accommodation. If you lift these up, you'll see that underneath we have a washer dryer. But I also wanted to point out this is just part of all the documentation that comes with the yacht. This one has got a tremendous service record, as well as instruction manuals for a lot of the equipment that's been upgraded over the years. And then as I drop these steps back down, notice there's also courtesy lights throughout, so that way it's illuminated at night. Moving forward, on the starboard side is where you're going to find a guest cabin, and in here we have got twin bunks. Again, this one's got opening porthole for ventilation. There is storage underneath the beds, there's storage between the beds. And this cabin does benefit from a TV mounted on the bulkhead. You also see we've got air conditioning controls. We've got more storage in the locker, as well as controls for the satellite TV system. And this cabin's got a clever design where you've got access directly into the guest heads compartment. This gives you that little bit extra privacy. But you can also enter this heads compartment from the main passageway. But in here you're going to find your sink, your head itself, and of course a shower. But I like the fact that the woodwork's got things like it's got curved cabinets. Just little design elements that make this one stand apart and show that they put extra thought into the minor details. And then as we move further forward again, this is where you're going to find on the port side is where we've got the main saloon. You got a folding cockpit table in the middle. You got those wooden blinds that we could have opened. There's also overhead storage. And up overhead we've also got an opening hatch for extra light and ventilation. And that cockpit table you see in the middle, that one can actually be dropped down and this whole area converts into a large double berth. We've also got these bar stools mounted in place. But while I'm here, look at the woodwork that's on the deck. Again, it's just a high quality premium feel you get throughout this entire yacht. And notice the speakers that's mounted up overhead. This one's got not only a stereo system, but it's also wired into the TV. And that TV is mounted in the bulkhead on the starboard side, with an additional seating area over there as well. And then moving forward is where you're going to find the owner's stateroom. I really like how accessible this island berth is from either side. You can see we've got hanging locker space to starboard, we've got the TV mounted up here. You've got more opening porthole hatches, plenty of storage cabinets mounted high up on either side. And then the storage compartment you see on the port side, that's got shelves, which you could use for shoes and t-shirts and things like that. And as you'd imagine, the owner's stateroom is fully en suite. Now where I mentioned in the other head compartment that they had the curved woodwork, they take that to the extreme in this one. The entire door is curved. And I love the design elements that's in here, including the fact that it's got a separate toilet and shower. There's also like a little ledge that's moulded into the shower itself that you can sit down on. And there's plenty of headroom in here where you can actually use the shower in comfort. And we also have more cabinets underneath the sink, so there's plenty of room in here for all your toiletries and personal belongings. And speaking of extra storage, if you go back into the main cabin, you'll see that the bed itself actually moves up on hydraulics, and there is a ton of storage underneath. This is all operated at a touch of a button, so you don't need to worry about any heavy lifting. And then finally we'll head back through the yacht and I'll take you to the engine compartment. As I mentioned earlier, you can access the engines through the aft cockpit through the centre seating area, but you can also have deck access to the engine room just next to the helm. And once you make your way down below, you're going to find a pair of Caterpillar. These are 3406. Those are approximately 800 horsepower each. They have got just over 1300 hours on the clock, but the 1000-hour service has already been complete. We also have 8 AGM glass mat batteries installed. Included in the sale is also spare props. We've also got an Onan generator down here. I was just very impressed with how much light you have. I was impressed with how much access you have to all the day-to-day service and components. I love how detailed and labelled everything is, not only for a new buyer taking over, but also in the event of an emergency. That way you know what you're quickly accessing. But if you look closely at the engines, there is no obvious signs of any sorts of leaks, be it oil, diesel or water. And these engines will allow you to reach speeds in excess of 30 knots, and you can cruise in the high 20s. And by being Caterpillar, you know that you're going to find the spares, as well as diesel mechanics anywhere you go. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. If you can leave a comment down below. If you haven't done so already, if you can hit that like and subscribe button, it really does make a difference. I'd like to thank Mike for the opportunity to step on board and share this video with you. And as always, I look forward to catching you on the next one. Thanks everyone.